Operation Spectre Rising and the Days of Summer event are all but officially over at this point, and with that, all eyes have now turned towards the horizon where Apocalypse Z, our next operation, is rapidly approaching. Now, with a brand new operation and another huge title update, we're bound to see a ton of new content and features added into the game, some of which we have already covered over the past few days or so, including some new DLC maps over in multiplayer, a new DLC map in Zombies, and also some big Blackout map updates coming at the hands of the undead. But what about the updates that have yet to be announced? Well, there is currently a handful of things that are still MIA here in Black Ops 4 that personally I think need to make their way into the game sooner rather than later. And with a new operation now on the rise, I see no better time for these updates to be added in than with Apocalypse Z. So today we're taking a look at 6 huge updates that Black Ops 4 needs in our next operation. What's up guys, Zacher Immortal here, welcome back to the channel, and as always, thanks for stopping by. With Apocalypse Z now only a few days away, the coming days and weeks are going to be filled with a ton of updates and new content. You guys already know we're going to be covering it all right here on the channel, so if you are new here and you want to stay up to date with all of the latest news, updates, leaks, rumors, and everything else going on in the world of Call of Duty, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on. That way you'll always know when I upload a new video. And of course, if you guys do enjoy this one, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated and it does really help the channel grow. And now let's get into a handful of updates that will ideally be coming to the game with Operation Apocalypse Z. For starters, today let's talk about a reoccurring update that I personally hope to see return here with the Apocalypse Z tiers. That being a midway split, meaning we get to see 50 tiers right away in the first 35 days of the operation, and then we see a new larger event added in that brings 50 more tiers to round out the last 35 days of the operation. To me at least, this method of going about adding in new content to the tiers and to the game in general heavily extends the longevity of the operation in total. Take for instance our last 2 operations. We had Grand Heist and then Spectre Rising. Now Grand Heist had 100 tiers that spanned a total of 70 days, and throughout those 70 days as time went on, the game drew a bit more stale. Especially after that halfway point or so, the game was really feeling very dry. But with Spectre Rising, we had new content introduced at first with a 35-day countdown, which ensured a larger update would be coming at that halfway point, which essentially just reset the timer and extended how long players would take interest in the game, since a ton of new content came halfway through. Also, maybe it was just me, but it sure felt like Spectre Rising went by a lot faster than our previous operations. And honestly, I would chalk that up to there being more new content added in later on into that 70-day span that Spectre Rising took up. So with Apocalypse Z, I really hope to see another split contraband stream to guarantee a larger update halfway through the operation with even more content and features. Now, speaking of more content and features, another thing that I think Black Ops 4 needs with Operation Apocalypse Z is that of more frequent content updates. While Spectre Rising was realistically the most content-packed operation that we've seen yet, one little critique I do have with it is the roadmap. When you look at the in-season updates for Spectre Rising, the vast majority of the things listed there weren't even added into the game until after the Days of Summer event went live, which seemed kind of counterintuitive if you ask me. We have all of these updates listed to drop from day 1, yet for the first 5 weeks of the operation, we saw next to nothing added in. And it wasn't really until the Days of Summer event released that we ended up seeing more of this roadmap actually filled out and checked off. So that said, with Apocalypse Z, if we do in fact see it split into 2 parts, each part should ideally have a decent amount of content updates included within it. You know, even having a roadmap for part 1 and for part 2 individually could be a pretty nice thing to see. That way we know we're going to have this and this coming during part 1 of the operation, and this and that won't be coming until part 2. That way we're not just sat there for weeks on end going, hey, this might be coming to the game this week since it is on the roadmap, or hey, we didn't see it last week, so it's gotta be this week, right? The way I see it, to essentially just avoid that situation altogether, having more consistent and frequent updates is the way to go, and I think that would greatly benefit the game all around. Next up, another absolutely huge update that we need with Apocalypse Z is going to be more earnable direct weapon unlocks, and the key takeaway from that sentence is earnable. Sure, we have the new Ultra Weapon Bribe bundle in the shop right now through the triple play, but that's not earnable like the one that we have in the 4th of July event is. And while that actual 4th of July event might be a little underwhelming in terms of content, the fact that it brings an earnable ultra weapon bribe to the game I think is great, and it's something we absolutely should see more of, either through more mini events like the 4th of July event, or just through the contracts. Currently, we only have the regular daily contracts, which we'll touch on more here in just a moment, but what if we saw something like weekly contracts that offered a weapon bribe? Or even just direct weapon unlocks like what we saw through the community contract with the Grav. I assume pretty much any day now we'll see the MP40 added into multiplayer through another community contract, seeing as that really only makes sense at this point. But what if we saw a contract along the lines of get 500 kills with assault rifles and unlock the Peacekeeper, or get 25 bloodthirsties with a sniper to unlock the Locust? Just something that allows us to guarantee ourselves a new weapon, no questions asked, no little fine print, none of the regular bamboozling that goes on so frequently, just raw straight up earnable weapon unlocks, I think is a very much needed feature. Now, as I just alluded to, contracts are something that are certainly useful, and I've been grinding my fair share of cases through them, but another update that I think needs to come to the game ASAP is that of better contract rewards. Now, I'm not saying every single contract needs to give you something incredible because, frankly, some of them are pretty easy, but also some of them really aren't. One contract in particular over in Blackout is to win a match without healing one time throughout the entire game. A no healing Blackout win is arguably one of the hardest challenges you can even attempt, let alone complete. Now, with a challenge like that, you'd expect the reward to be something pretty dang good, right? Well, not so much. For this challenge, you'll end up earning 500 merits and only 2 cases. And even with the more or less contract, which I actually had the other day, that needs you to win a game by scavenging less than 20 items. And that's no easy feat whatsoever, yet it only gives you 1 case and 500 merits. So maybe being able to earn a no duplicate crate, or even just a regular crate in general, would be a more worthwhile reward for those types of challenges, and just in general, some increased rewards would be a nice update to see added in. Continuing on though, another huge update that Black Ops 4 needs, and has needed well since launch, is that of Zombies factions. Now, this was a feature that was announced back in May of 2018 at the initial community reveal event, and unfortunately it was delayed at launch, and then delayed again, and again, and again. Treyarch even said that factions were supposed to be coming to the game during Operation Spectre Rising, but unfortunately the last time we even heard any mention of factions from Treyarch was the tweet saying it was planned for Operation 4. And with only a few days left in Spectre Rising now, yeah, I highly doubt Zombies factions is coming to the game within this operation. However, with Apocalypse Z being so heavily themed around zombies in general, it would certainly make a lot of sense for factions to finally come to the game. Treyarch did literally say that the undead are taking over zombies, which was kind of a weird statement in general, but maybe that was some sort of reference to factions finally making their well overdue debut. I guess only time will tell there, but let's cross our fingers just to be safe. Then, finally, the last huge update for today that I think needs to come with Operation Apocalypse Z is some form of more consistent Black Ops Pass rewards or bonuses. I have brought this up a bit in the past, but now more than ever, it feels like owning the Black Ops Pass just isn't as worth it anymore, seeing as the maps are free for everyone pretty consistently, and that's supposed to be the main exclusive perk of having the Black Ops Pass. Now, don't get me wrong, I knew exactly what I was buying when I bought the pass. It is very clearly laid out that you do get 12 multiplayer maps, a few Blackout characters, and a few Zombies DLC maps, but when everyone is already getting the maps for free, and for owning the pass all we've really gotten is a few crates here and there, that's not really the best feeling in the world. Even seeing a few no duplicate crates, or if you want to get really extravagant, a weapon bribe here and there, could be some nice bonuses for owning the Black Ops Pass, which so far has kind of been a letdown. With that being said though, those are 6 huge updates that I think Black Ops 4 needs to see with Operation Apocalypse Z, and that is effectively going to wrap things up for today. If you guys have any other wishlist updates, so to speak, feel free to drop those down in the comments below, and if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated and it does really help grow the channel. And of course, if you are new here and you want to stay up to date with everything going on in the world of Call of Duty, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on, that way you'll always know when I upload a new video. As always, be sure to use code IMMORTAL on all G Fuel, Control Freak, and Respawn products. All of those links can be found down in the description below, and once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.